I used to think I understood California before I ever came here, because from far away it looks like beaches, palm trees, and perfect sunsets. But the moment I stepped into the warm air and felt that mix of ocean breeze and open road freedom, I realized this place isn't just something you see, it's something you feel slowly unfolding around you. And as I began moving through it, one stop at a time, I stopped chasing the postcard version and started paying attention to how each place shifted my mood. Because California doesn't stay the same. It moves between calm and chaos, silence and sound, and somehow it makes all of it feel connected. Number 10. Golden Gate Bridge. I began in San Francisco, standing near the Golden Gate Bridge while the fog drifted past like it had nowhere else to be, and the deep red towers rose into the sky without trying to impress anyone. The wind brushed against my face, and the water below moved steady and quiet. And in that moment, I felt grounded, like the world had slowed down just enough for me to breathe fully. There was something powerful about how simple it felt, because the bridge didn't shout for attention, it just stood there confidently. And that quiet strength stayed with me long after I walked away. Number 9. Yosemite National Park. From there, I moved inland toward Yosemite, and as the road opened up into wide valleys and towering cliffs, the noise inside my head began to fade. Waterfalls slipped down smooth rock faces, trees stood tall and still, and the air felt cooler and cleaner with every step I took. I felt small in the best possible way, not overwhelmed, but reminded that nature doesn't need decoration to be beautiful. And that kind of raw, untouched space made everything else feel less urgent. Number 8. Santa Monica. Then I found myself in Santa Monica, where the mood shifted again and the calm turned into motion. The pier stretched out over the ocean, music floated through the air, and people moved in every direction with easy smiles. I walked along the sand as waves rolled in gently, and even with the crowd around me, I felt light, almost playful, like the city was encouraging me to let go for a while. The energy was alive but never heavy, and that balance made it feel effortless. Number 7. Hollywood. Driving into Hollywood felt different because the streets carried a kind of ambition you could almost hear in the background. Palm trees lined the roads, cars passed with purpose, and the hills watched over everything like silent witnesses. I didn't feel rushed, but I felt aware, like this place runs on big dreams and bold moves. There's a certain tension between fantasy and reality here, and standing in the middle of it made me realize how powerful belief can be when it fills the air around you. Number 6. Big Sur. As I continued north along the Pacific Coast Highway into Big Sur, everything softened again, and the road curved gently beside cliffs that dropped into endless blue water. The ocean stretched out wide and honest, and the only sound was wind brushing past the car window. I felt free in a way that's hard to explain because there was no rush to arrive anywhere, just the simple joy of moving forward with nothing but sky and sea in front of me. That kind of space makes your thoughts feel lighter. Number 5. Lake Tahoe. Up in Lake Tahoe, the air turned crisp and the water reflected the sky like a perfect mirror. I stood near the shore watching small ripples move across the surface, and the mountains circled the lake quietly, almost protectively. The stillness felt deeper here, and I felt steady, like the world had paused just for me to take it in. It wasn't dramatic or loud, but it was pure, and that purity made it unforgettable. Number 4. Death Valley. Then came Death Valley, and the contrast couldn't have been stronger. The land stretched out dry and endless, the heat shimmered in the distance, and there was almost no sound at all. At first, it felt harsh, but as I stood there longer, I felt calm in a strange way, because the emptiness forced me to slow down and listen to my own breathing. It reminded me that beauty doesn't always come in comfort, sometimes it comes in stillness. Number 3. Napa Valley. In Napa Valley, the mood shifted once more as rolling hills covered in vineyards moved softly with the wind. The sunlight felt warmer here, and everything seemed to flow at an easier pace. I walked through quiet paths between rows of green vines, and I felt relaxed without even trying. There's something special about a place that invites you to slow down naturally, and Napa does it without saying a word.
Number 2, San Diego.
When I reached San Diego, the coastline opened wide and the atmosphere felt welcoming from the start. The beaches stretched long and golden, the waves rolled in steady rhythm, and people moved with a calm confidence that felt genuine. I watched the sun begin to lower over the ocean, and I felt balanced, like the journey was slowly preparing me for its final moment.
Number 1, Pacific Coast Highway.
I ended the journey driving along the Pacific Coast Highway at sunset, where the sky turned soft shades of orange and pink, and the ocean reflected every color back at me. The road moved smoothly ahead, neither rushing nor slowing, and I felt everything come together, from the fog of the north to the warmth of the south. In that quiet drive, I realized California isn't just a collection of places, it's a feeling that builds mile after mile until it stays with you long after the road disappears. When I think back to that first breath of California air, I realize what stayed with me wasn't just the views, but the way each place changed how I felt without forcing anything at all. From foggy bridges to desert silence, from crowded piers to empty highways, it all moved like one long story that kept unfolding naturally. And somewhere along the journey, I stopped trying to define California and simply let it carry me. And that's when it felt less like a destination and more like a rhythm I could still hear even after I left.